Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Yassine, and I wanted to share with you guys my favorite phone of 2018. Now, I didn't get my hands on all the phones that came out in 2018, but I got my hands on these 5 phones, and there's one phone that I kept coming back to after I was done testing the other phones, and I wanted to share that phone with you guys. There's also one major problem that this phone has, so I wanted to let you guys know that, but in spite of that problem, I'm still considering it my favorite phone of 2018. So starting off at the beginning of the year, I was using the Pixel 2 XL, even though that is a 2017 phone, but going into 2018, I was using that, and that phone is amazing. It's got stock Android on it, great camera, and even to this day, because of Google still updating its operating system, I still recommend that phone, and I think it's a great phone. And then later on in February, the Galaxy S9 was announced and Galaxy S9 came out, so I decided to pick that up and to test it out. Even though Samsung didn't do major change from the Galaxy S8 to the S9, they just fine-tuned a couple of things that were, quirky about it, but I went ahead and picked it up and I started using it, and I've never been a fan of Samsung software, but I still like the design of the phone, and I think Samsung finally nailed it on the head when it comes to design. And then halfway through the year, the Oneplus 6 came out, and I had to try this out because OnePlus always does a really good job when it comes to performance and also coming in right at a great price point. So it was a no-brainer. Picked it up, loved using it, and I used it throughout the whole summer. Great camera on it. And then fast forward a few months, come October, it's Pixel season again, and the new Pixels came out. There was the Pixel 3 and the Pixel 3 XL. I decided to go with the Pixel 3 rather than XL because I didn't really like that notch, and I've been using that for the past month and a half, 2 months, and it's once again great phone. And if there's only one thing I could say about the new Pixel phones have you guys seen night sight? Like, that mode is insane. Just take a look at these sample photos. It's incredible. I don't even know how Google still does it, but kudos to them. And now recently, the last week and a half, I've been using the Poco F1, and surprisingly this phone is really good, especially for that price point. And I have a full review coming out in about a week, so definitely make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you guys can see my full review of the Poco F1. So anyway, out of these 5 phones, there's one phone that I kept going back to, and that is the Galaxy S9. Now, this phone to me is probably the perfect smartphone because, first of all, it's got a great design. I feel like Samsung did an amazing job with the design of this phone. Like I said earlier, they didn't change much from the S8, but they fixed a couple of the quirks. Like, they put the fingerprint scanner on the right spot, and just the size of it is amazing. Like, when you look at it side by side to the Pixel 3 in terms of dimensions, you could see they're almost identical, yet the Galaxy S9 packs a 5.8-inch Super AMOLED display, while the Pixel 3 only packs a 5.5-inch display. That means they basically got rid of all the bezels. It has no side bezels, and the top bezels are very thin and very tiny, so it's basically just almost all screen, and while keeping the phone size really small. And I really give it up to Samsung for that, where phones are just getting bigger and bigger. They still manage to make a small phone that looks good. And then, like I said, it has everything. It's got wireless charging, it's got USB-C quick charge, it kept the headphone jack, and it's got this great camera. Now, it's not the best camera out there, but it's got a variable aperture that I've honestly just used maybe once, but it's a really good camera. I'd say top 5 cameras in smartphones right now. So because of all that, I think the design is really good. And I did mention the headphone jack. Not that I use headphones or wired earbuds. I'm using AirPods, and so all my music listening and YouTube watching is on a wireless thing. But the reason that I like the headphone jack is because I use the Samsung S9 to vlog. Here's my vlog setup, and I plug in an external mic from Rode, and that way it can pick up more crispy audio than the audio that the phone picks up. And with this feature, it's a no-brainer. You need the headphone jack, unless they start making USB-C mics, which I really hope they do, since phones are getting rid of the headphone jack. And then after that, it's the software, and I'm not a big fan of Samsung software. It's better than what it used to be with TouchWiz, but it's still not there. and I know they're designing a whole new one called the One UI. I haven't dabbled with that or played around with it. All I've been doing is running a Nova launcher on my Galaxy S9, and because of the great specs, it doesn't really slow down, and you don't really feel it like you used to feel it on older phones. Like if you put a launcher on a Galaxy S6, then you would definitely feel the lag because you're running stock Android on top of TouchWiz, which is now then on top of Nova launcher. But with all the new processors and the Snapdragon 845, you can't really feel any lag or any slowdown when you put Nova launcher on the Galaxy S9. So that's what I've been using it. And now we come to the one bad thing about this phone, and that is the battery life. Out of all the phones that I've used this year, it has the worst battery life. So that's a big issue because a phone is only as good as its battery, because if it dies on you, then it's useless, it's pointless. But the way I've been able to overcome that hurdle is topping it off throughout the day. It's got wireless charging, so at work I have a wireless charging pad. Whenever I'm not using it, I just put it down on there and it charges wirelessly real quick. And then whenever I get home, if I have to go somewhere in the evening for dinner or meet up with some friends, then I just plug it in. It's got, like I said, quick charge, so it'll top it off 15 minutes, half an hour while I'm changing or just getting some stuff done around the house. I'm back to like 70%, 80%. So if you don't mind topping the battery off occasionally throughout the day or in the evening before you go out at night, then this definitely is a great phone. And right now, if you look at eBay and Amazon, you can find prices anywhere between the $450 to $599, and it is right around the same price as the OnePlus 6 right now. So it's really tough decision for a lot of people out there that are in that price range trying to get phones, because there are a lot of good phones out right now. But I would definitely recommend the Galaxy S9. It's still got top-notch specs and it's in a great form factor, and I just think that this is probably the best phone that came out in 2018. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If it's your first time here, definitely consider subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, stay plugged.